Hey guys, and today I'm doing my Empties video, and this is not all the products I've used up since my last Empties video because that one was over a year ago, but these are just some of the products that I want to share with you guys and say whether I like them or not and if I would repurchase them or if I have repurchased them already. So if you want to see that, then keep on watching. I'm going to start with mascaras because I have quite a few, but they are all either from Rimmel or from Maybelline, and I'm going to start with Maybelline. So firstly I have two of the Volume Express mascaras, these two. So one of them is the Colossal Go Extreme Volume Mascara and my second one is the Falsies. I love these two, you guys, but I like this one better, and this one is the one that I have repurchased, and this is also not the first one that I've used up. I've used a lot of these in the past, but this one, this Colossal Go Extreme Mascara, also wasn't bad either. Okay, and my third mascara from Maybelline is this Big Eyes Rebel Black Mascara that has two wands, one for the upper lashes and one for the lower lashes. So basically the upper lash wand comes with that. This was kind of a nice wand, but it gave you very natural lashes. They were very separated and lengthened, but they didn't have that much volume in. And for the lower lash wand, you have this tiny little precise wand, which for me was a little bit too time consuming to use for my lower lashes, but I can see some people who have really tiny lower lashes would love this wand. However, I actually really love this wand to use on my top lashes after I apply any other mascara, just to separate them. So now moving on to mascaras from Rimmel, I actually discovered one that I almost like as much as my Maybelline the Falsies, and that's a big thing for me because Maybelline the Falsies has been my favorite mascara for years. Perhaps I like my Falsies one a little bit better, but this one is also really lovely, and it is this. I've used two of these up. These are Rimmel London Glam Eyes Day to Night mascaras, which again come with two wands. So this one is supposed to give you a lot of volume, which I actually really like. I love this one more than the other one because the black one is supposed to give you length, and I usually prefer lengthening mascaras as opposed to volumizing, but for me the fatter one worked better. This one looks like this. It's just tiny bit slimmer, it's not as fat. To be fair, I don't really need to use the lengthening one. The volumizing one is good enough for me. Okay, and my last mascara that I'm going to show you is actually my holy grail for my bottom lashes. I love this, but it's so hard to purchase this nowadays. The only place where I can find it is online, and it is this. It is just the original Glam Eyes mascara by Rimmel London. I love this. This is amazing. I also love the lash flared version of this. I have this one, the same, the original Glam Eyes that I'm using currently, and I also have a backup of the lash flared one. They basically work very similar because they have a very similar wand. The wand looks like this. It's quite nice and precise, and it is beautiful and amazing for the lower lashes. I have never been able to find anything as good as this. Another thing that I've used up is this Sephora powder. This is my all-time favorite face powder of all time. I'm not going to talk about this because I've spoken all about this in my previous video, but this is the first powder that I've ever used up. The packaging kind of broke, but I've been traveling with this, and this is just amazing. 100% recommend to anyone who likes a bit of coverage in their powder. And it also doesn't have anything bad in it because it says no paraben, no fragrance, no allergen, no talc, oil free. So this is great, and I have already two backups of this, and I will continue to repurchase this whenever I go to Sephora because it's my all-time favorite. I have three used foundations from Revlon. These are Revlon Colorstay combination to oily skin foundations, and they are all in the shades 180 Sand Beige. I use this shade all year round just because even though it's too pale for me at the moment, for instance, I always bronze my skin up with bronzer. Whenever I put bronzer on, I also blend it all over my face to kind of match my body. So I don't mind if this is too light for me in the summer, and in the winter this shade is perfect for me. This is my all-time favorite foundation. It's a really full coverage foundation, and even though I don't have oily skin at all, my skin is very dry. Combination to oily skin type foundation It's not drying whatsoever. I just think this lasts a little bit longer than the normal to dry skin range. So my next thing is this lip liner, and this is No7 Precision Lip Pencils. They are both in the shade Nude, and technically I only used up one of them. One of them broke, but it was almost gone anyways before it broke. These are very fragile. They are my all-time favorite lip pencils, but they can break quite easily, so you have to be careful. And they have a twist up formula pencils, which are my favorite. I absolutely love them, and this color, guys, is such a nice dark and nude shade. I wear this lip liner with every single one of my nude lipsticks, whether it's dark, whether it's light. This will work with anything. I don't have a repurchase of this, but I really desperately need to get one, so I think tomorrow I'm going to London, and if I see Boots somewhere I will definitely pick them up, because I went to my local Boots and they didn't have this color. I have another foundation here which I finally decided to get rid of because I wasn't using it enough and it was quite old anyway, and this Maybelline SuperStay 24-hour foundation with SPF 19 in the shade Ivory. First of all, this is not ivory. This oxidizes, and when it oxidizes it gives you like an orange shade, but even when you first apply it, it doesn't look like ivory. This foundation is alright though. I mean, I don't love it, I don't hate it, I wasn't using it enough, so yeah, I've decided to finally get rid of it. I'm not going to repurchase it, but I know some people love this. I used to love the concealer from this, like this concealer, the Maybelline Superstay Concealer 24 Hours. I used to love this, but Maybelline discontinued it. Okay guys, so since my last Empties video I actually used up a lot of these as well, but I used up a lot more than 4, but I only kept 4. These are the Collection Lasting Perfection concealers in the shade Warm Medium number 3. These are not as good as my Superstay concealer from Maybelline, but they're okay. They work fine, they have nice coverage. I don't really like the finish that they give because they look very glossy and shiny, but I always powder this concealer anyway, so I don't mind it. Okay, so now let me talk quickly about primers. I used 2 face primers and 1 eyeshadow primer, and the first one that I've used is this Revlon Photoready primer, and I have a repurchase of this. This is probably my favorite drugstore primer, together with my Garnier 5 Second Blur. It doesn't compare to my Benefit Professional or to my Sephora Pore and Fine Line Filler, but it is nice, still nice for a drugstore. This comes with a pump, which I find it quite ironic because Revlon Colorstay foundation doesn't come with a pump. I have to use Q-tips to use my Revlon Colorstay foundation because it doesn't come with a pump. Whereas the primer, which you'd think primers don't usually come with pumps, actually comes with a pump. And this primer was really nice. It smoothed my skin, it stopped my foundation from creasing underneath my eyes or near my mouth area, so I really do enjoy this primer, and as I said, I have a repurchase of it. And I also have my Rimmel London Fix and Perfect Pro primer. This is probably the 3rd one that I've used, and I am using currently my 4th one. It claims so many things on this little bottle which you can't read, but it says protects, mattifies, brightens, resurfaces and smooths. For me, this only smooths my skin, it doesn't do anything else, but still for the price, this is so cheap. I just really like it because it will make my skin smooth, because my skin is normally dry, so it is really rough, and if I put this on, then my foundation just applies a lot nicer. And my eyeshadow primer is also from Rimmel, however this one I actually didn't like. It looks like this. It's called Exaggerate Undercover Shadow Primer, and it comes with a doe foot applicator. And this is white primer with a quite runny consistency, and this just doesn't do much at all. The only way I made it work and I made it somehow prolong my eyeshadow wear was when I was using this with my NYX Jumbo pencil in the shade Milk. So I kind of liked it when I mixed it with my NYX Jumbo pencil, because otherwise NYX Jumbo pencil would crease within an hour, and with this on it wouldn't crease for like 3 or 4 hours. However, as a primer on its own, this is rubbish, and still, even though it worked with my NYX Jumbo pencil, I think it's not worth the money. I have one bronzer that I've used up, and surprisingly not my Hoola bronzer. I don't travel with my Hoola bronzer, that's why, because it's too bulky and it just takes too much space, and this is the one that I travel with because this one is a lot slimmer. This is NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in the shade Sunny. Wow, their names are so long. So as you can see, I've used it all up. This may look like it's broken, but it didn't break on me. It's basically when you have little tiny bit of product here, it just cracks on its own. This is not broken. I genuinely used the entire bronzer, and this is so insane for me to say. I never thought this would happen. I never thought I would use the entire bronzer up, but this bronzer is not very packed and pigmented, so you actually need quite a lot of product to get nice color payoff with this bronzer. And lastly, for makeup, I have another one of my Rimmel London's Candle Eyes black eye pencils. They're my favorites, so I always use them up. Technically this is still usable, but I have a new one because this one kind of got really hard to use. It got old, so as you can see, it's not very easy to use this anymore because it's hard, and for my waterline it would probably make it sensitive, and I couldn't get the product out, so I just bought a new one. Next thing that I have are actually this eyelash curler. These things don't last forever. Obviously the rubber on this broke, you won't be able to see probably, but I can't really use this anymore because this rubber piece broke, and I could probably buy a new rubber for this eyelash curler, but I've used it for such a long time, I just thought it would be a good idea to get a new one. But these are my favorite eyelash curlers, so I have a repurchase of this actually. They're from Elite Models. Okay, so this next product I remember loving so much, but it was quite a while back when I was using this. And it is this. This is Dr. Nick Lowe Dermatologist Skin Solutions Dual Action Deep Wrinkle Filler. Immediate and long-lasting results. This I was using kind of like a skincare item, but then primer at the same time, because the main reason why I used this was to stop my foundation from creasing and my concealer from creasing, and it worked really well. It has a nice kind of rubbery applicator. You probably won't be able to see because this product is white, so it's hard to see, but it has a nice rubbery applicator. And you just put some on where you have natural fine lines or your foundation would crease. So for me, that's just underneath my eyes and around my mouth area. This is supposed to be also like a skincare item as well, because it's supposed to help your fine lines. I can't speak about this part because obviously I'm too young to really see the results. I don't have wrinkles. I don't have deep wrinkles to see whether this helped them or not. I just use this more as a primer to fill out to stop my foundation from creasing, and that worked for the matter. I have two products from Simple because they're my favorite skincare brand from the drugstore. And firstly, I have this Simple Kind to Skin Pore Minimizing Toning Cleanser. I don't use this at night, but I use this in the morning before I put on my makeup, just to wash my face and refresh it and basically minimize my pores. I think it's a very good cleanser in the morning when you don't have makeup on. This won't be good if you have makeup on. This won't remove your makeup effectively, but if you just want to wash your face before you put your makeup on and you want something that will slightly minimize your pores and make them look a little bit less visible, then this is your answer. This is really lovely. I have repurchased this. And my second thing from Simple is quite boring. It is just the regular Hydrating Light Moisturiser. I love this before I apply my makeup. I love to use this. I also have two of these Sally Hansen Double Duty base and top coat. Even though it says base and top coat, I only use these as top coats. They have a tendency to go gooey quite quickly, like you can't use the entire bottle of this before it gets gooey. As you can see some product still left in here, but it's so gooey it's impossible to use. But I have used so many of these. I can use these maybe for 3 months and then they will get too gooey and I have to repurchase them. And they're honestly very nice when they're new. When they get gooey, they're not nice whatsoever and they get bubbly, but when they're new, they're absolutely amazing. And then the last thing that I have is another product from Sally Hansen, and this is Maximum Grow daily nail treatment, and this I don't use daily. I just use this as my base coat. This stops my nail polish from discoloring my nails and also makes my nails harder so that they don't break as easily. So this doesn't have any vitamins, I don't think, in it that will make your nails actually grow, but it kind of hardens them so they don't break as easily. And I also have repurchased this, and I have one that I'm currently using. So yeah, you guys, that is the end for my Empties video. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed. If you did, then please like this video and subscribe to me if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!